Welcome to your weekly Wendy Wisdom, and today we have a jam-packed masterclass for you, my entrepreneur friends. I can't wait to show you this. And I have the wrong deck. So let's go ahead and find the right deck, and we'll be right with you. Okay, so we're going to remove that. We're going to bring the right deck in, and then we will get started with the jam-packed masterclass. How is that for funny? So let me just grab this, and then we will get started. Hope you had a fabulous week. Now, what we're going to be talking about when I get hold of this is how to get more clients on LinkedIn. And what we're going to do is, let's see if we've got it, the right one. Wouldn't it be good if I used the right deck for today's session? So you may be one of those people who believes that LinkedIn is for job seekers. And I totally get why you think that. I totally get that. But guess what? You are welcome there too. So let's talk about what I mean by that. The reality is that there is a tremendous amount of amazing resources and support for job seekers on LinkedIn. The same thing for the recruiters who are trying to find people for the jobs they're trying to fill. That is totally, totally, totally true. Also, there is a lot of support for people who sell to big corporations or corporations in general, not necessarily your mom and pops and your solopreneurs. So those people definitely are those people are definitely in the right place when they go on LinkedIn. But the reality is that entrepreneurs are too. So LinkedIn can actually be a powerful moneymaker for your business, even if your customers aren't on LinkedIn. It can get you customers, can get you in front of audiences filled with your customers. It can get you referrals from people your customers know and trust, and it can get you employees as you scale your business. All of that is true. Now, the bad news is if you haven't touched your LinkedIn profile since you became an entrepreneur, you're probably missing out. No, you are definitely missing out on finding customers, getting in front of audiences, getting referrals, finding employees to grow your business for free. All of that, all of that. So you end up making do with finding customers in other places because, at least you got some coming in, but you're struggling to find audiences filled with your customers. You need more customers. You need more leads. Wondering, does my ideal referral partner even exist? I'll end up realizing that your business would make more money if you added LinkedIn to your toolkit. So, good news is you hear that LinkedIn can help you grow your business. And now you'll have a new channel for customer leads. You'll get the speaking gigs and podcast guesting opportunities. You'll find referral partners who can send you leads, and you will add to your team without pricey job postings. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? The bad news is just because you have a LinkedIn strategy doesn't mean that your profile clearly states what you do and who you help, elevates your brand and your business's brand, makes you findable when people need your services, makes people want to check you out when you comment on a post that's a biggie, makes it easy for people to schedule a call or join your Facebook group. And what do you do in the experience section if you're an entrepreneur anyway? The bad news is, if you're ignoring your LinkedIn profile, you're giving up on speaking gigs, podcast guesting, referral partners, and increasing your leads and wondering what could have been. What if instead of missing out on all LinkedIn has to offer entrepreneurs, you had a plan to land speaking and podcast guest gigs strategy, referral partners who introduce you to your ideal customers strategy. You know how to stand out with your LinkedIn profile, and you know how to use your customers' love language so you stand out and your customers want to stick around without, get this, wasting time, energy, or money on all the wrong things. Because let's just be honest, when you are an entrepreneur, there are a lot of people selling you a lot of stuff. Most of it is expensive, and most of it is going to take a lot of time. And I'm all about finding as many customers as you can for the least amount of money and the least amount of your precious time. Because one of the reasons you're an entrepreneur is for freedom, financial freedom and time freedom. So let's just dial that in. Hi, I'm Wendy. I'm the person who didn't have the right deck ready for her masterclass today, but the deck is here, I'm here, and we are ready to jam. I'm the founder and coach of Taking Charge and the founder and coach of Silicon Country, where I bring 25 years of experience in Silicon Valley to what I think of as Silicon Country, the rest of the United States. I help entrepreneurs from all over get more clients on LinkedIn. That's what I do. At Taking Charge, we are on a mission to help entrepreneurs take charge of their business by building relationships with the people they need to grow. And a primary place that we do that is LinkedIn. Relationships are the way you're going to grow your business. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I have, in both nonprofit and for-profit, been the boss of hundreds and hundreds of people. And then I moved into working with venture-backed tech startups, like the one where I was the VP of operations and scaled from employee 23 to employee 500. I helped those venture-backed tech startups figure out who the people they were, who the people they needed to do the growing that they needed to grow next. And the reality is that venture-backed tech startups, okay, that's about how do I get the next round of funding? How do I make the most of this round of funding? What people do I need? Do I have the right CTO? Do I have the right engineering talent? Do I have the right marketing and sales talent? That's what they're talking about. The entrepreneurs that I talk to every day, that people conversation is different. It is, what podcasts do I need to be on? Who are my referral partners? Where do I need to be speaking? Who has huge audiences of my people and they're creating content and my people are interacting with it. And I'm not a competitor to that person with that huge audience, but that audience is filled with my people. What do I do? How do I make the most of that? That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about building relationships with the people you need to grow your business. So what you're going to get today is we're going to talk through a strategy start, how to build a strategy to use LinkedIn to grow your business. Then we're going to talk about how to stand out, how to tune out all the experts and attract your people with your LinkedIn profile. Then we're going to talk about showing skills. We're going to talk about how to use LinkedIn features, including their creator and search tools, to find and attract your people. One of the things that makes LinkedIn amazing is the search tools. And even on a free account, you can do a whole lot. Then we're going to talk success systems, how to leverage your LinkedIn superpowers efficiently for the best results. I know a lot of you are neurodivergent, and that just makes that whole how do I do things efficiently a little bit harder. You are my Special people, you've been my special people since I met my first kid in my first YMCA program with ADHD in 1991. He was a first grader named Eric, and he taught me so much. And so many people have been blessed by that little boy ever since. You are my people, and I can help you set up systems for success. I also help neurotypical people like me, though. Now, let's talk about where you are today. You don't have a clear strategy for how to use LinkedIn, so you just avoid it. You don't know how to craft your LinkedIn profile to attract your people. You have no idea how to make the most of all LinkedIn has to offer. You don't know what to do to be successful on LinkedIn and how to have it not take time you don't have. And those people don't look happy. They look lost, very lost. What you're going to get today. Find your people on LinkedIn. Strategy start, stand out, show skills, success systems. And that is the path to winning. And then you become the happy people. Today, you'll get my headline cheat sheet, the opportunity to get one-on-one support with the Entrepreneurs Taking Charge on LinkedIn program, and an opportunity to ask me questions. Whether you're live or in replay, you're going to pop questions in the chat, in the comments, and I will answer them. So do you have gaps in your LinkedIn strategy? Look at that big black gap. Is this how you feel on the left? We want to move you to on the right. Deal making, winning. So strategy start. That's the first step in our process. That's where you know where your customers are on LinkedIn. You know who has audiences you need to meet. You know who can refer customers to you, and you know how to show up in searches on your profile and in the LinkedIn feed. And when you do that, things change. For example, a strategy about testimonials. How you can use your profile to feature testimonials and drive people to get on calls or join your Facebook group. Using the featured section to highlight not just LinkedIn content you create, but videos and other work product you want to share. Getting speaking gigs and podcast guest spots. The possibilities are endless. So we're going to talk about how you're doing in this area. We're going to go from 1 is a meh, 4 is a heck yes. In between, we've got not really and kind of yeah. Yes. Okay, I've got big vocabulary, but we're going to just dial it down to simple words today. Meh, not really, kind of yeah, or heck yes. So you're going to score on these things. I know where my customers are on LinkedIn. I know who has the audiences I need to meet. I know who can refer customers to me. I know how to stand out in searches on my LinkedIn profile and in the LinkedIn feed. Give me a 1 meh, a 4 heck yes, or somewhere in between. We do 1, 2, 3, or 4. We don't do decimals today. Drop that in the comments so I can see how I can best help you. Next up, let's talk about how you stand out on LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn profile. That's the images at the top. That's the headline under your name. And that is all the stuff that falls under the headline on your name. Your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn searches. How many people are finding you on LinkedIn? And are they the people that you want to find? If you have a premium account, you can see who's finding you on LinkedIn and looking at your profile, and you can know what's going on with that. And that's important. Your featured content. If you're creating content or you have things you want to share with your LinkedIn audience, the featured content piece is huge. Now, I'm not always saying that content's the right thing for you. It might not be. We start with the easiest things to do that will leverage LinkedIn so that you get more clients. That's what we start with, the easy stuff. Then, of course, there's the LinkedIn feed. We want to make sure you stand out there when you're posting on other people's content or when you're creating your own. So let's go ahead and give this a score of meh to heck yes. Which is your take on how good a job you're doing at standing out on LinkedIn? I've crafted a LinkedIn profile that builds my brand and my business's brand. I stand out in searches when my people are looking for me. I know how to make sure I use my featured section to highlight my superpowers, and I make the most of the all-important headline. Give that a 1 to 4. Next up, show skills. You want to find LinkedIn creators with your favorite audience. You want to find podcast hosts. You want to create content that builds credibility and attracts customers. And you want to grow and nurture your network. This requires learning things like, how do I use the search tools on LinkedIn? That is a huge piece of the puzzle. We're going to give these things that we're about to review a score of 1 to 4, from meh to heck yes. I know how to find LinkedIn creators who have an audience of my ideal customers. I know how to find podcast hosts who have an audience of my ideal customers. I know how to create content that builds credibility and attracts customers. And I know how to grow and nurture my network. Give it a 1 for meh, a 4 for heck yes. And lastly, success systems. Schedule your LinkedIn time. Get in a time that works for your schedule, your brain, your efficiency, your life, your family. Get in front of audiences. Figure out how to make that work for you. Build your network. Nurture your network. Create credibility boosting content. And make it as easy and efficient and as free as possible. So we're going to score from 1 to 4. I think we've got this down now. 1 is meh, 4 is heck yes. We want to see these in the comments. I schedule short sprints of LinkedIn time each week. Did you hear that? Short sprints, people, not hours upon hours. I get in front of audiences and my customers each week, even if you don't have the right deck up when you're about to go in front of them. I build my network each week. I nurture my network each week. I create credibility boosting content each week and feature it on my profile. Score of meh to heck yes, 1 to 4. Now, I talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but I want to talk about this now. One of my longtime clients shared this in a community that she's part of. Just wanted to share the word about what she's gotten out of working with me. And she said that Wendy's an expert in helping entrepreneurs of all types and stages. Her strength is in taking what is going on as a business owner, setting realistic goals, planning for them, and pushing through what may be blocking you. Also, how to balance, integrate, and manage the stress of running your own business so it doesn't negatively impact other areas of your life. She has a great ability to objectively evaluate what you need to do in terms of how to set realistic, achievable business goals that fit your day-to-day life, your capabilities, and your demeanor. I find starting a new business full of exciting challenges that are both invigorating and terrifying, and her support has been really helpful. So, beyond the content that we're talking about how to find your clients on LinkedIn and add another tool in your toolkit, I just wanted you to know that I care about your whole life, your family, your health, all the people that care about you. And we want to make this entrepreneur thing work for you, make the money you need to make, and make it work for you from a time perspective, from a stress perspective, from all of that. Super important to me. That's really what I was put on the planet to do. So now we've got our scores. And you're thinking, oh, Lord, what do I do? So if you're thinking, okay, so maybe Wendy can help me, but how does she actually know this stuff? One word: experience. So first of all, I've been active on LinkedIn for 20 years in April. So my 20th anniversary is coming up. I've been teaching people how to use LinkedIn for a lot of that time. In the early days, I was in a cohort of executives who had all been laid off, and I was the youngest person in the room. And I became the social media expert for my peer group in that cohort. And I became so valuable at that outplacement firm that they kept me around after my paid time was up so I could keep teaching social media for job seekers in their executive cohort. I've scaled a startup, as I mentioned, from employee 23 to 500 and $100 million exit for the founders and investors. I've led millions of dollars in consulting engagements with dozens of Fortune 500 and VC-backed startup companies. I've led award-winning programs at a leading nonprofit organization. And then on the small side of nonprofit, I led the turnaround of a small nonprofit. It was an AIDS clinic in San Francisco's Castro district that saved hundreds of lives. I designed talent strategy and trained recruiters to use LinkedIn at VC-backed startups with a 64% exit rate. Can't touch that. Imagine making sure you stop leaving cash on the table at LinkedIn. Imagine getting in front of audiences filled with your ideal customers. Imagine showing up when your ideal customer, an ideal referral partner, is looking for you. Imagine getting help from someone who's been teaching people how to use this amazing tool, how to find the people they need to find for 20 years. Imagine getting all the search secrets from someone who's trained dozens of recruiters how to find hard to find talent, because what you're doing is similar and the tools have only gotten better over the years. So where you are now is not where you want to be. I get that. You need a little help getting there. I get that too. So when we work together, we start with the strategy, then we focus on standing out. We can't, we kind of need to understand the strategy to figure out how we're going to stand out, because we need to know who we're trying to attract, right? Then we build our skills for really using the amazingness of this place. And then we set up success systems. So we actually do what we say we're going to do, and we find the clients we want to find. Because how many times have you paid somebody a lot of money and you never did the things? Hey, I am an executive functioned, neurotypical, highly organized being, and I've done that. I bet you have too. And that's why everything I'm about is how to make it easy and have it work for your brain, your life, so that your systems bring you success. Mission critical. If you want that superpowered headline cheat sheet, you're going to drop a cheat sheet in the comments, and I'm going to get it to you. I promised it. I'll get it to you. Now, if you're like, yeah, the cheat sheet's great, but I really need help, Wendy. Great. When you work with me, there's a ton of tools that I build for you so that you can take your business to the next level. We focus on strategy, we focus on standing out, we focus on your skills, and we focus on the success systems. And if you think about the one-on-one coaching and the customized action plans and accountability and action working sessions, the profile upgrade, the connection strategy and audits, yeah, you think about that and think about like the way I would price executive coaching, we're talking about, almost $7,500 in value. But instead, you can work with me for $497 a month for a minimum of 3 months. And then we can keep going. And if that is what makes sense for you, as we continue to build and continue to grow, but you can get started for as little as $497. a month for 3 months. But I want to give you a bonus offer. So if you pay in full, and you pay in full for 4 months, you get the 5th month free. $19.88 instead of $24.85. It's a savings of $4.97. And that $4.97 a month Dealy Whack, that's 2 calls a month and unlimited support via email. So doing this right now with this amazing couple, launching the husband's business. The wife is part of the team. She also is launching a bookkeeping business. And so we're going all in. We're starting with the business page for his business and both of their profiles. We did a deep dive on those, and now they're starting to execute. And every day I get an email from one of them. Okay, here, I've made this change. Let me look at it. Wendy, I did the Canva for the background image. Here's 4 different versions. Which you like better? That's what I'm talking about. So who's this good for? Entrepreneurs who have an established presence on Facebook or Instagram and are tired of leaving money on the table with LinkedIn. People who are new to entrepreneurship and still have a job seeker style LinkedIn profile. Or maybe you're one of those, I have a day job that pays the bills and a side gig, and I need a profile that supports both, and there is nobody who can have your back on that unique situation than me. If you want to diversify your lead generation, you're like, Facebook changes things, Instagram changes things. I just need to be in more places so that I have some resilience in my business. I want to diversify my lead generation. This is good for that. You want to increase your speaking and podcast gigs. One of the first people I worked with who was an entrepreneur was applying to be a TEDx speaker. And TEDx is really into LinkedIn profiles. So the first thing we did is we fixed up the LinkedIn profile, made sure the images reflected her speaking. And guess what? She made the cut, a huge cut, to get to actually audition. All because of the changes we made on her LinkedIn profile. And think about what will happen for her business when she gets that TEDx spot. It is huge. And of course, then there's podcast gigs. And if you happen to have a podcast yourself, you can find your guests on LinkedIn, super easy peasy, and that is amazing. You entrepreneurs who want to find referral partners, so we'll bring you ideal customers. That is a big time, right? This is good for that too. So the bonus offer is good today. Midnight California time. If I get a message from you saying I'm in, I'll get you that invoice. I will take care of you over the weekend. You got to get back to me by midnight California time, and we'll make that bonus happen. Either way, if you're like, I think I want to do it, but I just need to talk to Wendy and get a vibe when she's not doing this live performance thing. Yeah, I get it. Drop me a message that says, let's talk. I will get on a call. We will make this happen. I'm here for you. It's Friday. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. And this weekend, make sure you take time to spend time with the people you love, doing the things that you love. Your business and your customers will thank you. And more importantly, your health and your family will thank you. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.